Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Heather and this is where we talk about all things books. Today we are talking about my February wrap-up. Okay, I read almost 2 books. I finished reading the last book yesterday, so it was technically February. Yesterday was Sunday. I'm recording this on Monday. So I read the last 100 pages yesterday, so technically I finished my second book in March, not February. So it is what it is. Anyway, I'm okay with it. I don't have any problems with how much I read. I know a lot of people out there are reading tons of books, but you know what? I have come to the conclusion that it's okay for me to read only 2 books, and I'm okay with that. So here we are. Let's go over the first book that I read, and that was The Scarlet Alchemist. And I honestly have a lot of mixed feelings about it. While I enjoyed it, there were some areas that I kind of disagreed with and thought it could be better. The first thing is, I'll just give you a brief overview. This is set in ancient China during a time where there were caste systems pretty much. So you had the upper class, the royals, the nobles, and the basically laymen. Okay, so you have the main character, Zilan, and her 2 cousins / siblings that are trying to better their family. So they are applying for the Royal Civil Service exam to be able to work at the capital and send money home to their mother and father, Zilan's aunt and uncle. But she thinks of them as a mother and father because they adopted her at a very young age. So this is just the opening of the story. The world in itself is amazingly built. Honestly, I enjoyed that part of it. The author did so well at the magic system and even just taking ancient China and weaving her magic system into it. I thought she did a fantastic job. But I also don't know a whole lot about ancient China either. So there's that. And I'll just give you a little bit of an example. The nobles and the royals are able to ingest gold into their body to prolong their life. And essentially, the more gold you eat, the longer you live. So you're basically immortal, but you can be killed. So if you are killed in a graphic manner, you will die. So those are some little bits and pieces. There is alchemy, where they use magic, and if you don't know anything about alchemy, they use different stones and minerals to create things. And so that's basically what is going on. Think Full Metal Alchemist in China, but you actually can bring people back to life, whereas in Full Metal Alchemist, you cannot. So there's a little bit of the background. I really did enjoy the overall story, but I had some issues with the fact that I felt like the main character, Zilan, was different at the beginning than she was at the end. Like she went in full force, fierce at the beginning, even during the exams when they belittled her and they put her at an extreme disadvantage and basically tried to make it to where she would fail. And she overcame all of those obstacles, and she was still strong and independent. And then you throw her in this other environment, and it's like she became stupid, for lack of a better word. And I don't really want to give a whole lot away. I will give a more in-depth review at some other point, but as of right now, I'm not ready for a review. I haven't done a review yet. So I I felt like the characters were a little frustrating, and even the male lead in here was really frustrating as well because he felt bland. Like he had no personality. And if he had more personality, I feel like I would have, this would have been another 5-star read. But for me, I think this is probably closer to a 3.5-star read because I feel like some of the characters were lacking. But overall, the plot and the adventure and the rest of the story was very well thought out. I just felt like some areas were lacking just a little bit, and so it just didn't, because those aggravated me so much, it didn't push it to a 5-star. So there's that book. And then the second book that I read was the third Keeper of the Lost Cities, Everblaze. And I really enjoyed this book. So far, every single book that I've read in this series, I have thoroughly enjoyed. We are still following Sophie, and she is still trying to navigate the world of the elves. If you don't know anything about Keeper of the Lost Cities, Sophie was an elf who was raised in a human environment, or the human world. And she was basically put there to protect her by a certain group. I'm trying not to give any spoilers away if you haven't read the first book, but it is a little bit of an older series. There are 9 books out, so this is where I am. So now I'll go into a little bit of details into Everblaze. We are with Sophie. She is trying to find out who the Black Swan is. Well, no, she's trying to figure out who Jolie's murderer is. She kind of knows who the Black Swan is, but she doesn't know who Mr. Forkle is yet. Still don't know that. She's trying to figure out all kinds of things that are going on in this book, and I made a lot of predictions, and I actually got the majority of them correct, and my children were laughing the whole time because they wanted to tell me I was right, but they didn't want to spoil it for me. So I enjoyed Everblaze. Like I said, I actually did technically finish this in March and not February, but I'm still going to put it in my February wrap-up because I finished it before I recorded this video. So there's that. Those are the only 2 books that I read in the month of February. It's exciting. I'm enjoying the Keeper of the Lost Cities. It is just taking me a little longer because I don't have the audiobook for it, and I can't flip-flop back and forth, so I actually have to be sitting down, and I don't have as much time as I would like to just sit down and read. Audiobooks have been my go-to in the season of life where I'm constantly going, and sadly there's not one in this, so that's part of the reason why I only read 2 books, because it's been difficult, and it's not even that long. It always happened. I would sit down to read and I would be just so exhausted I would fall asleep, or I would get interrupted, or I would have to stop what I was doing to go do something else. It happens. I'm in that part of my life as a mom, homeschooler, and just wife as well. It just is what it is, and I accept that part of my life. So 2 books in 1 month, I'm okay with that. That's great. I hope you all enjoyed your February and chose some really great books. So let me know what you read in February and how you liked them. And I will see you all next time. Don't forget to like and subscribe. It really does help me out, and I appreciate you all. And I'll see you all next time. Bye!